everybody, welcome back to the Frost River subdivision. Today I have a product review. This is the Digitrax LNWI Wi-Fi interface. It's a new product from Digitrax that allows you to connect up to 4 smartphones to your LocoNet to control trains on your layout. The LNWI uses the existing smartphone apps such as Y-Throttle for the iPhone or Engine Driver for Android phones, and it's a pretty handy way to control trains and add throttle capability to your layout without purchasing expensive dedicated handheld throttles. The LNWI, each unit, it's a very simple plug and play unit. There's no configuration required, and each one will allow 4 smartphones to connect and up to a total of 32 LocoNet throttles. And if that's not enough for your layout, you can have up to 8 of these LNWI devices, and that's a total of 32 phones and 256 throttles. It's quite a bit. Now, I have a very small layout. It's in a 10 foot by 10 foot square room, so I am not going to be able to test the limits of range and connecting up the maximum number of phones and checking for interference and all that stuff. What I will do for you today is give you a quick demonstration of how to set it up and how it works, and a few words of my thoughts on initial testing. So let's get started. So this is how the LocoNet Wi-Fi interface is packaged. You have the interface itself, which is kind of a smaller version, a new smaller version of their DS64 style packaging. And you have a LocoNet cable, comes with its own power supply, and of course the instruction manual. So standard, typical Digitrax packaging. And so let's open it up and see how it works. So here we have it hooked up. You have the PS14 power supply that came with it connected to the power jack, and I have a LocoNet cable connecting the LNWI to my Digitrax Zephyr Extra command station here. And so really there's no configuration, there's no setup or anything. You just plug it in, and then on your phone, hope you can see this, you will see in your settings, your Wi-Fi settings, the name of the server here. In this case it's DTX1-LN server 07CC-7, and so you choose that and connect to that network, and then you launch the Y-Throttle app, or if you have an Android app, you use the Engine Driver. And in settings, you'll go to choose the server, and you find this available server, select it, and since I have automatic network configuration, it's already connected. So now I should be able to acquire a throttle. Let's see, let me choose one here, 6218. There we go, we're selected. So now let's go up to the layout and see if we can control this locomotive. Okay, so here we are. We've selected locomotive 6218 on our throttle, and this is the locomotive here, number 6218, and we should see if I increase the speed, she starts rolling forward. Stop, go in reverse, and there you go. It's that simple. Okay, so now that we've looked at this thing, I had to decide, what use is this for my layout. In my particular case, I already have a layout computer that's running JMRI, that's running the Y-Throttle server, and hooked up to my home network. Works just great with my phones. So on the surface there's really not much use for this. For a operator who does not have a layout computer or doesn't want to mess with that, this is obviously a very simple way to connect smartphones and use them as throttles. It's pretty much a no-brainer, and that is, in my case, it seems like a duplication of function. But then I thought about guests. If I have a guest come to my layout, and if I want to use my own phone, it's already hooked up to my network. It's no big deal. If I have a guest come in order for them to use their smartphone on my layout, I have to hook them up to my home Wi-Fi, give them my Wi-Fi password, and go through all of that setup in order for them to be able to connect. Or I have to go to my Wi-Fi router and set up a guest network. Not all Wi-Fi routers will support guest networks, and so that can be tricky too. The LNWI, however, provides a very, very simple way for me to add guest throttle capability. They can just walk in, they find the Digitrax Wi-Fi, they connect to it, and boom, they're controlling trains. And they don't have access to my home network. I don't have any security concerns there. Not that I really do, because any trained person that I'm going to allow into my home is someone I think is trustworthy. But nevertheless, it's a much simpler way for them to connect and use their phones, and then go on home. So given that the price is pretty reasonable, these are street price around $60. I'm seriously considering adding at least one for that guest throttle capability. Probably won't need more than one, but a single one might be a really good addition to the layout. So we'll give that some thought, and maybe at some point in the future we'll do a full installation and add this capability to Frost River. In the meantime, I hope you have a good time with your trains. Bye now.